Hello and welcome back to another session, Disadvantages of Database. So we have so far learned about what are the advantages and what are the characteristics and usefulness of the database. It's always good to learn about the other side of the coin as well. When I say other side of the coin, it's actually the disadvantages of the database. So what are the disadvantages of the database? Let's learn each one of them one by one. So cost of the hardware and the software of an implementing database system is actually high. This can even increase the budget of your organization. Yes, if your organization is implementing database for the first time, then yes, it's a costly affair because it involves the purchasing the hardware, servers, software applications, and above all, the human resource with the right skill set. So this may increase budget of your organization. This is disadvantage is not something like I'm threatening you, because when it comes to a company and the investment, right, so they always look for the cost and the expenses, you know cost to expenditure, like what is the productivity, what is the value addition. So it's always good to know about what are the different disadvantages of implementing the database. Second thing was many DBMS systems, are very complex systems, and DBMS is basically database management system. So the training for the users to use the DBMS is required. Like I said, DBMS, database management system, become complex as the organization, the business grows over a period of time. So the organizations need to keep hiring the good people to keep up with changing the technology trends. This may escalate the cost again. So it's not a like 1 or 2 days of affair. So you have to constantly manage the system, and if you want to hire because these systems are updated on a yearly basis, or every now and then the systems are updated. So the people who work on those systems may not be applicable now. So in that case, you will have to hire a new person to work on that system. So it's a costly affair because you need to keep updating, and you need to keep updating the resources as well. And sometimes you will have to keep training your resources as well. The third one is DBMS cannot perform the sophisticated, the calculations. Uh, I said, like, can perform only the simple operations, right? So it's basically like, database or OLTP based systems are made to perform the simple operations like, read, update, drop, delete, etc. So they cannot perform complex mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, division, multiply, etc. because databases are made for retrieving the data rather than performing the complex operations. For example, you have just deposit you have a $1,000 in your account, and today you go and withdraw $200, and the remaining is $800. And so this the debit transaction has to be updated in the account. So when you look at your account on an immediate basis, your balance will be shown as $800. So that's basically like it's updating the account then and there itself. So this type of simple operations you can perform with the database systems. You cannot really take average of, say for example, you have withdrawn like a $10, $100, $200, $600 over a period of time. If you want to see like what is the average withdrawal dollar in my account, you will not be able to see that in database systems, because you have to apply a formula like it has to sum it up all the the withdrawal transactions, and then it has to divide it by those many number of transactions. So this is a the calculation gets slightly complex. Those kind of the complex transactions cannot be handled by the database. The next one is issues regarding compatibility with the system which is already in place. If you have any existing software application with any existing database and you want to change the database now, so then you might face some compatibility issues. For example, you have Oracle database now and you want to replace that with Microsoft SQL Server, then there might be a compatibility issues because each system are more or less the same, but they have certain limitations in terms of query retrieval or the database performance or data latency issues and so many other things. So you might face this issue when you want to change the entire system into a new technology or a new vendor as such. Next one is the data owners may lose control over their data, raising security, ownership, and privacy issues. This is not something you need to be worried, but these are some things you need to really take into consideration. This kind of issue is basically like an ongoing issue where these data system companies continue to research in this field even after having multi-layer mechanisms part of robust security. So this particular loophole may cause the issues to privacy, ownership, etc. So this is very technical to explain what is security, how security might compromise or how ownership might compromise in the case of database. But this is something you need to take into consideration, and I'm not able to explain all those things in this particular topic because we are just addressing the concepts. So if I start explaining each and every details of the disadvantages we are seeing here, then we might not be able to complete the whole course. So I would restrict myself to just explaining the concepts. So these are some of the disadvantages of the database. So you need to take into consideration when you're trying to implement database for your business or maintaining your applications or anything. So that's all about disadvantages of the database. I hope you enjoyed this session. I will see you in the next topic. Thank you.